And I let Magnus in. Okay. So then we are ready, 9 o'clock, to get inspired for an hour at the online inspiration session of the ELCA Committee of Firms. I greet you also on behalf of Yasin Otuzoglu, our chairman of the ELCA Committee of Firms, who's unfortunately not able to join today because he's on a business trip. So he asked me to take over and to say hello, good morning to you. So of course, I'm gladly want to do that. Welcome to all to you, with special welcome to Pierre-Yves Rallet from Loxam, also the colleagues from Hunter. Really nice to welcome you this morning as our new members, associate members of the ELCA Committee of Firms. Very great to have you here. Also welcome Van der Spek, hoveniersbedrijf from Benthuizen, who is our first business seat member. Also really great because they are interested also to be more involved in the association matter and also the political lobby that we do. So this is a new opportunity in the membership of the ELCA Committee of Firms, and it's really great that also our members are looking also for that, let's say, this kind of involvement in our association. So it's really great to have that. Really great that you're here this morning to talk about ICT. I have some small, let's say, instructions to start this meeting with. Please mute your microphone so that you do not disturb the presentation. You may leave your camera on if you like, but the session is recorded. So if you do not want to be in the screen, then you should also turn off your camera. I suggest that if you have questions, you can put them in the chat, or you can wait with your questions till after the presentation of Jeremy, so that you then, by raising your virtual hand, can ask attention for answering for your question and then let it answer. After that, I've left everybody in. I will check also the chat so that I can take that back also at the end of this session. So, of course, we are landscape gardeners, and landscape gardeners, they work with their hands in the soil, and they are working on planting trees and other kind of things that we can do in the garden and in the public space and even on the roof and on facades. But can you imagine how important ICT for your company is? When I visited companies and I saw what kind of administration that they have for calculations, for human resources, for client administration, for making designs, etc. So there's a lot going on. And also the use of GPS, for example, in the world. It was really surprising what is all there. And I think, as Jeremy will also tell us, we ain't not have seen nothing yet, because there is much coming up on new innovations in automation and also AI, like we have now the AI assistant sometimes popping up as a participant in the online meeting. So there's a lot going on. So we are very happy to have this inspiration session about ICT, innovations and AI. And I'd like to introduce to you our dedicated speaker of today, Jérémy Sirtou, who's General Manager of Achat Solutions, his company in Grabel in France. But Jérémy, I expect that you also tell a little bit about yourself and about your company. So I suggest to give the floor to you. So Jérémy, it's up to you.
Thank you. Thank you a lot. But first, I'm very happy to be invited here and to share our experience and what we do for 20 years now for landscape gardeners. And I will share my screen so I can show you a few things. And for sure, as you said, if you have a question, don't hesitate to write them or to ask then, so we can have a... Can you see my screen?
Yes, yeah, we can see it.
Okay, great. So first, I want to thank also Raphaël Héraudy, who is here online, who is the creator of Spock Gestion, who is the software editor that last year joined the Achat Solutions group that I'm heading. So the idea today is to explain quickly who we are, why we work and how for landscape gardeners, and then we will skip on, we would say, topics for future, but it's really present now already, and the topics we are working on for now and for the future. And it will be a pleasure to share about some issues that should inspire or should be inspired by AA. I think we will find together maybe good ideas for to help the future of your business. Okay. Spock is here for 20 years, more or less. We work every day for 300 companies across France and Swiss, but maybe with other countries after the discussion of today. 9,000 people are using this software every day to drive the business or to track HR, to follow their sites, every project. So we will focus on later. And Spock now is part of a group which is called Achat Solutions. And we have there many companies working for different topics, and I will come back on it later. I would like to say also that at the ELCA, we have some of your members that are some of our very important customers for years. Méditerranée Environnement with Raphaël, Prêtre Espace Vert, SPI Batignolles, ID Verde, Leroy Paysage, Chola, et Millet. So thanks to them, and they are using our solutions every day, and so maybe they could react to on the way we work and on what we are preparing for the future. Our group, Achat Solutions, is born 40 years ago, more or less, and our specification, what is specific is we were working at the beginning on public tender, and so in France, we consider that 70% of every tenders, public tenders, are using one or more of our solution. We work on softwares to create the tenders, so the buyers, public buyers, can gather all their needs and then have the redaction of the tenders. Then we have the publication on the platform where more than 400,000 companies are coming here to find business and to answer, to bid on those public tenders. And then we have other activities like softwares for landscape gardeners, and we have also this activity for public transportation, pharmaceutical laboratories, and so we will be on both sides of the public, we'll say public tenders, and all the companies that work for private business, but also for public business. And that's the reason why we started to work with Spock, and so we discovered the business of landscape gardeners. A few topics. We are more than 200 located in France. Our headquarters are in the south of France, next to Montpellier, for who know the city. And we will have a turnover of 40 million euros, more or less, in 2026. A few words about what we understand of your goals, of your issues, and it's really important for us to keep in mind those issues, so we can develop and create solutions that are here to help your business. The main idea, the general idea, is always to be there to help you to drive your business. That's very, very important. As you said before, it's a business where you have hands in in the ground at the beginning. So the idea is to help everybody to spend time for your customers on site and reduce the time that is needed for administration and everything around the core of the business. But that's not the aim at the beginning. Okay, for sure, we are here to manage your growth by improving the customer satisfaction, oversee your work. We will speak a lot about that, to secure information, structure the information, and also facing legal changes. That's a big part of our DNA in our group. We have many legal partners and legal employees helping us to understand, to anticipate, and to adapt our tools, our softwares to the legal modification that's coming every day, every month. Okay, so if we split the different parts of our solutions, we will work on gathering the information. We will work on anticipating what is happening, and to drive every activity from different level. So on the general level, and then drill down to some details. We work on human resources tracking, the real-time job tracking. We work on pre-accounting. We help business and estimation management, the administration monitoring, scheduling and field reporting, purchasing and supplier management, which is a big part of our solutions, the client invoicing and payment tracking, very important, and the equipment fleet management to be sure to manage every resource we need to drive the business. Okay. Do you have some questions at this point, or do I carry on? Okay.
Yes, you can proceed, Jeremy. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So a few screenshots just to illustrate what we do. The final idea of everything we do in our softwares. So gathering data, have our every data very structured, very complete, is to be able to drive the business from a global level to drill down to the job. And so here we'll have what we call a profit and loss account, a P&L, for every job site, and then we can gather it and see it on a higher level. Then what we work a lot on the fact that we have to know exactly where we are on every project. So the comparison between the forecast, what we expected by revenue, by using resources, human resources, the fleets, everything, and to know exactly where we are, what we have done, what we have to do, and to be really precise in the driving of every job. And so that's what we do in Spock. And so we will be able to monitor every project and to have the calculation of margin in real time, and not to wait the end of a project to know where we are and if the project was interesting, or if we used too many resources, or if we took too many time in comparison with the initial forecast of what we deal with the customer. And for that, we will be able to drive every resources at a very precise level. So concerning human resources, concerning the fleets, concerning every purchase. And so using the software month by month and the time, we will improve our capacity to drive the business, and to have our purchase database will be more and more precise and more useful. To be able to have all this information, this management, we worked a lot on the modelization of the data you will create and you will have in your software. It's a very important bridge to speak about AI, because AI is very powerful, no doubt, and the speed at which AI is improving is very spectacular. But if your data is not very structured, it will be useless. It will be spectacular. There's a kind of magic here, but you will have results who will be on the same level of precision of completion that you have with your data. So if we don't have a data model which is very precise, you won't have you won't use the entire power of what AI can produce. Okay, so here I'll show you an example of the kind of tool we have in Spock to manage every part of the activity. We are working on a full interaction tool. I said it before, we can see it on a global level, and we can drill down on a very, very precise model. Here it's the example of to follow the business activity. So it's about the bids we have and the projects we hope to sign with our private or public customers. And the idea here is to say, okay, I will be able to follow every business or business lead I have in the nature to be sure everything will be well driven. We can follow it on a geographical level. We can follow it on per year, per period. If you have a group with many subsidiaries, you can maybe follow it by company. You can follow it by the category of business you want to follow in your business for your business opportunities. You can follow it by people, because you have many people who are bidding on their territories all around your country. So you want to see the performance of every people. But to have this, you need to have a data who have to be very clean. The idea is not just to show statistics. Okay, that's interesting, but is to be able to cross many information that will help to have some insights, and this tool have to be helpful, so it can help us to see where you have maybe difficulties or you have points of improvement. In this case, it will start to be very useful. You need to have maybe many comparison between what you have done years before. It will be helpful to see the ratios of win you can have on some on this kind of activity on this geographical territory. And thanks to this, then you will be able to drill down and to go to the job. You will be able to go to the business developer you have, with the idea of every data that is generated by the tool can be used, can be modeled, so it can be used for decision as a decision tool. Okay. Thanks to this, then we will be able to use AI as a very powerful tool, using your knowledge, and to reveal the full potential of the huge knowledge every of you have in this company. The idea is to see your company, to see your organization with a very precise point of view, and depending on the kind of decision you want to take, you will need to see your organization from different point of view, and that's the interest of see the data in this way. And then here you have an example of what AI can sorry, oops, a bit quick. I will go back. When you have this data, when you know that everything is very clean, because you made this job, you will be able to start to use AI on a solid basis. here, for example, sorry, it's in French. We want, okay, we have many charts, we have many information to drive the business, to drive the company, but you, for example, want to see the number of opportunities or business you have by kind of projects, for example. And so I will just speak to him on natural language, and it will be able to propose the charts, for example, that is the most powerful to help the decision. That's the kind of AI can help, because if every time you want to make a decision or have some point of view, you have to recreate some charts. You're always late, and so the idea is to use AI to have a real-time information from the point of view you need at the moment of the decision you need to take. Okay. Then I would speak about and show you what we already do thanks to artificial intelligence. So I will change my screen. Is there a question, maybe?
I think somebody has turned the microphone on. I tried to mute, but I think it's at Theodore. Maybe Theodore, you can look at your microphone and turn it off.
Okay, I changed the screen I share. Can you see it?
Yes, we can see it. Okay. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, great. As I said before, our historical activity is to gather companies and help them to work on the best way for public with the public buyers, cities, regions, big cities, hospitals, maybe many every kind of organization that use public money. And so the first use we imagine for landscape gardeners with the Raphael, who is present here, was to help the companies to answer public tenders, but it would be the same with private tenders, to generate their technical answer to the tenders. So that's what I will show you. As we work for many business, very specific business, we made the choice to create a team that is dedicated to create some functions, some capacities with AI, and then adapt them to the specific needs for landscape gardeners, for example. This is one way to work. The other way is to say, okay, this is our issue when we work as a landscape gardener. Can you tell us, AI team, the way AI maybe could help us could help us in our business, knowing that what is very important is we don't want to be compared to public AI as a public ChatGPT, for example, for some issues as compliance, as confidentiality. We need to be, we developed private AI, so every customer can hire private AI using its own knowledge. We are speaking here of using, revealing the best parts of your knowledge, and there's no question to share this with competitors, for example. So it means that the way we prepare the AI is very different than what we can have with public tools. Okay. As we work a lot on public tenders, we know exactly the way they are created, and so our legal employees use all the knowledge to train the AI, so the answer the most accurate possible for the generation of the technical response. Okay. So sorry. the words here are in French, but we worked on documents in English for the demonstration. What we will do here, we will use here, you will have all the technical memories that you can gather in your companies. This is very, very important because the AI in this case is very, very powerful to take the most relevant elements you will have in your database, your knowledge database, to have the more relevant answer. The AI will be able to tell you a score, a grade of relevance of the documents you have already created for years, in comparison with the tender, the bid you have to do. So then, what I will up here, I will download what we call in French the CCTP. It's we are speaking here of the technical specification, and I will use it. I will use what we call RC in French, Règlement de la consultation. We are speaking here about the instructions for tenders. I use here an example of a public tender, but we could do exactly the same on private. Here, the AI will start working on what we think it's more important here. It's about the analysis of the criteria, the expectations criteria that will be the most important to answer the tender here. And about the instruction for tenders, we will here detect the evaluation criteria that will be useful to answer on the best way for the bid. Okay, when we have this, so we have 39 technical expectations. We have 4 criteria of evaluation, and then we will choose the every part of the tender we want to answer. Now we will choose the documents we want to use to create the answer, and so we will say I will show you. We'll say majority of what we need. We are speaking here about irrigation management. Here we'll just not work on price. We will focus here on text, and then I won't take everything. Imagine I know exactly I know what the kind of documents I want to use, and then we will have the machine that will prepare the best answer. We use AI as a powerful tool to suggest and to save time, but at any moment we say the AI will be able to work as how we say replace the final point of view of the specialist that you are. So the idea is to imagine that we can maybe help you to earn 80%, save 80% of time, and then you will check everything. But the fact that it will use the most relevant part of your database, the knowledge database, it's very, very powerful. Imagining that in your companies, you have maybe many different people who will answer for bidding. They don't know what is done on other regions, on the other territories. And so here there is the opportunity to gather the best part of your knowledge. And so here, it will generate a table of contents that will be specifically structured to answer, to be compliant with the what the buyer will wait. And you will be able here to you can change it. You can ask the AI to modify the table of contents. And then you can start to generate every part of the answer, or you will be able to generate everything, every part of the answer. And then when you will start to check it, you will be able to focus on some parts. You can ask him to say, okay, on this part, but I want you to be more precise on the human resources you will use. I want you to be more precise on the description of the profiles that will be leading the site. And the AI will come back to the knowledge database and will focus or give more details on the parts you ask. Another very important part is that sometimes you have to when you have your knowledge that is more or less ready to answer. For bids with, I don't know, 30 pages of technical specification, you will have the AI to take this, but the buyer said, no, it's not 30 pages, it's 5 or 10 pages. And in this case also, you will have, it will be very interesting to use the AI, okay? So here, for example, I will start to generate everything, and then I will be able to focus on such or such parts, and I will see every parts be prepared based on the AI, based on your knowledge, and that's what is very powerful. Okay. And then we will work. We developed what we call a chatbot that would help us to develop the answer, and a chatbot that will be very useful to use the softwares and to have answers on the business because of the use of all the database and the knowledge we use. This is an example of what we do on your side to answer bids. But on the other side, we also developed so many cases with AI to help the buyers to generate the bids, to have to make that the technical specification asked will be more relevant to be sure that you will have the best companies that will try to answer this. And another tool, and it's important to know that, another tool that we sell a lot to public buyers is the analysis of the bids. We'll say that 10 companies answer the bid, and then they will be analyzed with the tool using AI. It means that more and more in the future, you will have AIs speaking together to say, that's what we need, and other AI saying, that's our answer. And so we imagine that in the future, it will change the way you present the value of your knowledge, the value of the skills you have in your company. Today, we use a lot images. We work also on tools that generate images, schemes, infographies. Okay, that's very useful. But the textual part is a reducing part for a few years, will be maybe increasing again, because your answer will be in a way a prompt, a script speaking to another AI that is making the analysis of the bids. In France, for example, we speak a lot about the tool to help the students to choose their way. They make wishes, and we know that behind it, we start to have AI analyzing this. So you're not just speaking to a teacher that will read personally what we want. No, that's the end. So we have to know that because you speak to people, but you're also starting to speak to tool analysis and more using AI. This is what we start to see. I come back to my presentations. I'll change my share again. Okay. And here are some examples of the use the way we use AI to help business, and some topics we are working on today, and tools that will be available in the weeks or months coming, and that will step by step make the way you use the usual information technology tools in a different way. I spoke about the technical responses generation. I saw you the very beginning of the dashboard generation, but we are working. We will. I would be able to show you things next week, but it's a week too late. So sorry. We will not. We cannot show this to you this week. We work also on delivery and invoice recognition. So every task that is not very useful. When we can, we will use AI. There's a point I have to precise. AI can be used in two ways. What we know for, we say 3 years with the generative AIs is the generation of text, generation of summaries. We use them as a tool of creativity using a very, very big knowledge database. That's the example that I had just presented to you. What we work on now is another part. We are speaking about agents. Maybe you heard about this. AI agents are a next part of AI. It will be able to make actions. It will be able to realize tasks. And so the idea is to mix the creativity part of AI and the agent part, the capability of the AI to do tasks. And if you and this will help to have scenarios working on automation. That could be very dangerous too, because when you use a tool to have an automation on your process, you have to be sure that the way you feed the process at the beginning is very precise, is 100% true, not 99, 100% true, to be sure that the result at the end will be 100% true also. And so we are working also on this, mixing generative capabilities of AI mixed linked to automation capabilities of AI today. And so thanks to this, for example, we use this for public transportation. You receive an email for a customer or future customer, and from this email, we can extract the important data, and we can generate a quote automatically using your knowledge. So it's useful in case of a very structured business, and in your case, for example, seems to be too light because when you quote, you have a very specific way to work on it. But for small topics, for recurrent topics, it could be very, very useful. We developed also another tool, very interesting, and that's we use for public transportation, and which is very inspiring for your business. It's the team rounds optimization. We are long-term specialists on this part to use to mix the fleet management and the needs of transportation of people. For example, the way we need to have the kids at this time, at this point on the morning to go to school. Then you have an empty bus, so you will start to draw the lines of the city using this AI tool. And so we're working today on the way we can adapt this to your team's rounds optimization. For example, when we I'm sorry, I don't have the exact term, but when you have very recurrent rounds to just take care of gardens, for example. But you have the word. I don't have it, but you have it. We use it, as I said, as a chatbot support. This is another way to use in the best way the huge knowledge you have in your companies. This is you have an explosion of the amount of knowledge you have, and so you need to use it on the best way. And the people coming here today, they don't know what they know. That's a major topic in your companies. And then another tool we developed thanks to AI is the image recognition for fleet management. I take just one simple example. I will take two pictures, one of the engine with its number, and another one with the number of kilometers of miles that it was used. Two pictures coming back to the database in your fleet tool management, and so you will secure your data. And it's a part of what I said at the beginning, so I will conclude on this. The quality of the data you use, if you are very confident in the data you use, in the way the model is, you will be able to use very powerful tools, AI, but not in the another direction. First the data, and then you use the tools that will create and make automation on this. Maybe you have some question. I spoke a lot.
Well, Jeremy, thank you very much for this presentation, and it's really impressive to see what kind of opportunities there are already. If I see the discussions that we have in Brussels, it's about administrative burden. We've got administrative burden then linked to laws, so to speak. But if you see now the opportunity that you have with also AI to overcome these barriers, then it's really impressive to see. You said indeed you can save a lot of time, 80%, you said, when you use AI and have, let's say, very well structured data. But then, of course, the structure of your data is really, let's say, the basis to work and to start with. So really impressive to see all these options that are already there. So let's see in the chat if I see some questions coming in. And otherwise, I would like to open the floor if somebody wants to have a question, answer a question, then please raise your hand. But maybe everybody is so impressed. But Jeremy, this information is also, let's say, possible to put in English, in German, in Danish, in all language that you like?
What is very interesting with AI is the capability to be used in many languages. So today we would have to translate the interfaces, the menus, the buttons, everything. But the way we for this demonstration we switch it from French to English was quite easy. What is very interesting on the kind of tool we have is that rules for public bidding, we are speaking about European rules, and then in each country you have it will be declinated with the specific things, but the general spirit of the way you will analyze documents, we know it on a European level.
Yeah. And you also said that, let's say, you can make this kind of offers for private customers as well as for public customers.
Yeah, because it won't be exactly the same way to detect what is important, but the AI. He said, sorry, I have a call. Okay. The AI is able to understand what is very important in a private for private bid, for example, and push the information that will be the most relevant.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yves, I see that you have a question. Please come in.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Because I have a bit of a problem with my computer.
Yeah, loud and clear, Yves. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. I was wondering, and maybe Jeremy could help, but it's a question towards ELCA. Wouldn't it be feasible? Because I'm first going to explain my question. A very interesting part of what Jerry said was the whole phase in front of the AI, because everything starts from the right data. Clean data, have all the data, have the correct data, and so on. Wouldn't it be feasible to make some kind of online working group with the people here around on ELCA level to prepare actually what data we need to further on talk with Jeremy on how to proceed it? Because at my experience, data and in our sectors, the data gathering is really the bottleneck here. And I think this shouldn't be the bottleneck, because we all have the tendency to start very big and very, very broad. And I think we should start with a small set of data and align our expertise with that. And then we can move on to what Jeremy told us. It's just an idea.
I think if this
So
is really
I'm
an
wondering
interesting
what
idea,
the other
yeah.
people.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea because, as Jeremy explained, the structure of the data is very important to use the opportunities of AI. So to have, let's say, an overview of, let's say, the whole structure that you need for that, it's really interesting to let's say, to develop such a framework. So what do you think, Jeremy? Would that be an opportunity?
Yeah, I just want to precise a point, and thanks, Yves. That's a very important point. You have, we said, two use of AI. As I said, it is very, very important to have very data very structured and very clean, so you can use decision tools, you can use driving tools or automation tools thanks to AI. On the example I presented earlier about the generation of technical answers, what is interesting is that you don't have to structure the thousands or hundreds of documents you already created in the past in your company. So there are two topics. The capability to AI to use what we would say a data lake. It's a lake. There's everything inside, so no problem. They will do the job to take the most relevant information and to generate something on this basis. But on the other hand, yeah, the capability, the skill of structuring data, which is a specific competence, it's very, very useful, needed, and have to be done on earlier stages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can I respond to that very briefly? So
Yes, yeah.
I perfectly understand what you say, because you have the generative part and then you have the part from where you start off. The thing is, we know our companies, as for saying, and I think one does not exclude the other. And when we're talking about something like predictive analysis, then we have to start from the data. And yes, indeed, when you take back the example of the tender, then you have a lot of generative AI in it. But I think, and that's also why I would like to suggest to start with a work group, because personally, I'm into IT and all that kind of stuff, but I think that is not always very clear for our companies, because our companies are people who are working outside, and most of our companies are not very into IT technology, as for saying. So that's why, but certainly I fully agreed that one does not exclude the other. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And maybe in addition to that, we have today in the online session also representative of the national members that we have. So maybe you can also send me already your ideas by email so that I can collect them and that we can see what we can do as a follow-up on this. So please come with your suggestions towards me. contact@elca.info. Other questions? I checked the chat. I do not see questions there, but maybe if you like, then raise your virtual hand. Then I may conclude that we are very impressed, Jeremy, about all the opportunities that are already there. And that's as a result of this online inspiration session that we also have an action to do a further orientation on what can we do to facilitate our members in this whole structuring and process in the use of AI, because there are huge opportunities behind it. So it's really interesting to hear that from you this morning. So I'd like to thank you very much for this very interesting online inspiration session. And also, Claire, thank you very much for your support this morning also. It's really great that we have now a lot of food for thought, so to speak, so that we can work further on this. So thank you very much for that.
Thanks to you for inviting us, and that's always a pleasure to share we are passionate by those topics, so it's a pleasure to share it with you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And so to our dear participants this morning, dear guests, I can tell you that we have a next online inspiration session on the 13th of March coming up. So please note that already down in your agenda so that we then already are there to get inspired again. I have also, let's say, a little bit of AI on behalf of ELCA, because this week we have sent you our new digital newsletter. And last week I received a question from a member who said, can you please also send this information in our own language? And we found out that if you open this digital newsletter in the browser, that most of the browsers offer the opportunity to select your own language. So if that might be also, let's say, an interesting thing to find or to read the information of ELCA, then you can please also use this opportunity. So we also point out that language should not always be a barrier. If the browser can also assist us with that in AI, that is, of course, a great opportunity. The last message that I would like to give, it's also in our digital newsletter, is that we are looking forward to the next excursions, professional excursions that we are going to make. The dates are May 14th till 17th, and our colleagues from Austria have prepared a really great project and program. You find in the digital newsletter the link for more information about hotel arrangements, etc. And also there you can register. So please be recommended to register also for this professional excursions. And next week I will send a separate email about that also, so that you have the information that you need to look further on this. So I'd like to thank you very much for being present this morning in this online inspiration session. I hope you get inspired today to do all kinds of nice things in your profession, in your company. And I'd like to thank you very much and hope to see you soon again. I see Per, you raised your hand.
Yeah. Just repeat, please. You tell that you will send the invitation for the meeting in Vienna next week.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, so let's say the information is already in the digital newsletter of this week that we have sent, but I will send a separate email with the same information and link to get reminded. So we hope, of course, that lots of people will join this professional excursion in Austria. So thank you for your question, Per. Thank you very much for being with us this morning and hope to see you soon again. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.